You weren't planning to join. It's late. The air is thick, humid, clinging to your skin even after sunset. You stand near a barricade that wasn't there this morning. Someone hands you a bottle of water. Another person raises a phone, recording. In front of you, a line of shields begins to move. Slow, mechanical, black helmets, no faces. One officer breaks formation and walks straight toward you. Step back. You don't. He studies you for a second longer than necessary. Then his voice lowers. You ever thought about wearing this instead? You laugh. He doesn't. 2 weeks later, your phone rings. You're 19 when training begins. The compound sits on the outskirts of the city, isolated, silent, built from concrete and routine. You wake before the alarm. Everyone does. In the yard, white lines mark positions. Riot shields are stacked in perfect rows, scratched and clouded from past impacts. They don't teach you how to fight first. They teach you how to stand, not move, not react, just hold. Instructors walk along the line, tapping shields with batons, listening, not for strength, but for hesitation. Your job is not to think, one of them says. Your job is to hold. They show you footage, real protests, close range. A bottle slams into a visor. One officer flinches, breaks formation. The line collapses. The video freezes. One mistake, the instructor says quietly. One. That night, someone whispers in the dorm that most injuries don't come from the crowd. They come when the line breaks. You don't sleep much after that. By 21, you're deployed. 12 of you sit in silence in the back of a transport truck. Gear pressed tight. The smell of plastic, sweat, and something metallic fills the air. The doors open. The noise hits you all at once. Chants, sirens, the distant thrum of a helicopter overhead. You form up, shields lock, batons ready. They told you crowds are predictable. Patterns, pressure points, movement flow. But the faces in front of you don't feel predictable. A woman steps forward. No mask, no sign, just her phone pointed directly at you. Do you know what you're doing? She asks. You don't answer. The line moves. Something flies through the air. You don't see who threw it. It strikes 2 officers down the line. They stumble. You step forward. You close the gap. Later they tell you it was handled well. That night you watch the footage. You see yourself step forward. You never see who threw it. At 24, you're in the front row. Less talking now. More expectation. You understand the weight of the shield, the exact angle it needs to hold, the rhythm of advancing without breaking formation. 3 steps. Pause. 3 steps. The crowd tonight is different. Quieter. Sharper. That's worse. You're ordered to clear a street. No negotiation. You move. A man runs, trips, falls near your feet. He isn't resisting. He isn't shouting, just trying to stand. You hesitate. The officer beside you doesn't. He swings. You follow a second later, because that's what the line does. Later, the report reads, necessary force applied. No names, no faces, just words. At 27, you lead a squad. 8 officers, all watching you for signals, small movements, hand gestures, timing. You start noticing things. Who hesitates? Who overreacts? Who enjoys it? There's always one. Intel says the protest will be peaceful. It isn't. Fireworks explode in a confined space. Panic spreads faster than orders can. Your formation fractures. 2 push too far forward. 1 falls behind. You have seconds to decide. Pull back and risk losing control. Or push forward and leave them exposed. You push. Later, one of them is missing his front teeth. The other refuses to file a report. They say it was chaos. But you remember the exact moment you chose. At 30, you're a sergeant. Briefings get longer. Language becomes softer, but heavier. Maintain order. De-escalate when possible. Contain without escalation. It all blends together. You coordinate multiple squads now. Radios never stop. There's a rumor. Quiet, persistent. Not about the crowd, about your own people. Officers who escalate situations deliberately. Trigger responses. No one confirms it. During one operation, you see it. An officer, yours, throws something into the crowd. Quick, subtle. No one else notices. Seconds later, the crowd surges. Exactly like the training scenarios. You lock eyes with him. He looks away. You say nothing. That night, you replay it. Again and again. At 34, you're off the street. Screens replace faces, drone feeds, thermal imaging, movement tracking. They call it behavioral mapping. You call it guessing with better tools. An operation fails. Orders from above, conflict. Delayed, confused. Units move too early, then too late. A section collapses. Not because of the crowd, but because of miscommunication. 3 officers are injured. 1 is critical. The report blames external aggression. You know it's wrong. You sign it anyway. Necessary force applied. At 38, you sit on the review board. You don't act anymore. You analyze. Body cam footage, civilian videos, edited clips already spreading online before official reports exist. Now the pressure comes from above. Narratives matter. Public trust metrics, political timing. You're asked to contextualize, which means removing context. One case crosses your desk. You recognize it instantly. The man from years ago. He didn't disappear. He filed complaints. For years. Now it's escalated. Your name is in the report. You weren't supposed to remember. But you do. You adjust the wording. Not a lie, not the truth. Something in between. At 42, you give orders. Entire city sectors move based on your commands. You don't see people anymore. Only zones, flows, patterns. There's a phrase used often now, controlled instability. Sometimes order isn't restored by reducing tension, but by directing it. A major protest is scheduled. Everything is prepared in advance. Routes, barriers, units, even escalation triggers. Mid-operation, something feels wrong. A unit moves, not random, precise. You didn't give that order, you check the logs, nothing. Then you find it. A parallel channel, restricted. Orders issued under your authority, but not by you. You ask about it. The answer is simple. You don't have full visibility. And in that moment, you realize you were never at the top. At 46, you're moved, quietly, no announcement, no explanation. Your new role is advisory. You sit in meetings where decisions are already made. Files you once accessed freely are now restricted. Requests denied. Colleagues stop asking your opinion. Then they stop speaking to you at all. A younger officer takes your place. You recognize him instantly. The posture, the certainty, no hesitation, level 3. At 52, you're retired, no uniform, no radio, no noise, but you still wake early, out of habit. The city still protests. You see it on the news, short clips, clean edits. You recognize everything, the formations, the timing, 3 steps, pause, 3 steps. One evening, you pass a barricade, different officers, same shields. One of them looks at you for just a second too long. You wonder if he knows, or if he was told to look. You keep walking. At home, you find an old report. Your name is still there. The wording hasn't changed. Necessary force applied. You try to remember the man's face. You can't. Only the moment. Only the choice. You sit in silence. No conclusion, no correction, just the memory of a line you once held, and the quiet realization it was never yours to control.